The AI-enabled software testing market was valued at roughly $1 billion in 2025. By 2034, multiple research firms project it will surpass $4 billion. The broader software testing market is on pace to double from $55 billion to over $112 billion in the same timeframe, and the automation testing segment alone hit $14 billion in 2026. Those numbers aren't aspirational forecasts from a vendor trying to sell you something. They come from Fortune Business Insights, the business research company, Grandview Research, and other independent market research firms tracking this space. And when you line them all up next to each other, they tell a pretty clear story. Money is flooding into AI-powered software testing at a pace that most people in QA haven't fully processed yet. Let's break down what the data actually shows, what's driving the growth, where the money is going, and what this means for anyone working in software testing right now. The testing market is more than doubling this decade, and the automation-led segments are growing fastest, which signals a fundamental shift away from manual testing toward AI-driven CI/CD native quality models. Regardless of which firm's numbers you use, the AI testing market is growing at roughly 18 to 22% year over year. For context, the broader software market grows at about 11%. AI testing is outpacing the industry by nearly double. The money isn't flowing into AI testing because it's trendy. It's flowing because companies literally cannot keep up with the speed of modern software delivery using traditional methods. Here are the forces converging to drive this growth. 1. AI-generated code is creating a testing crisis stack. Overflow's 2025 survey found that 84% of developers now use or plan to use AI tools in their development process, up from 76% in 2024. That means more code is being written faster than ever before, but all that AI-generated code still needs to be tested. SmartBear's recent research found that 7 out of 10 respondents are concerned about quality keeping up with the speed of AI-driven code creation. The more code AI writes, the more testing AI needs to validate. 2. Release velocity has outgrown manual QA. Companies aren't pushing updates once a quarter anymore. They're deploying multiple times a day. Over 72% of organizations have implemented some level of test automation, and 58% plan to increase automation coverage by more than 30% just to keep up with release cycles. Manual testing simply can't match that pace. The math doesn't work. 3. The cost of failure has never been higher. Gartner reports that performance degradations can cost enterprises over $3,000 per hour of downtime. IBM's research shows that fixing a bug after release costs 15 times more than catching it during design. With 81% of executives now tying software quality directly to customer satisfaction and revenue, quality has become a board-level conversation. It's no longer just a QA team problem. 4. Regulation is forcing the issue. The EU AI Act is requiring new standards for testing and documenting AI-driven systems. PwC estimates that 70% of companies deploying AI applications in Europe will need to adapt their QA processes for compliance. The financial services, healthcare, and automotive industries are feeling this most acutely. Testing isn't optional when regulators are watching. Quality ceases to be a function and becomes the mechanism through which enterprises sustain velocity without compromising stability or compliance. Not all segments of the AI testing market are growing equally. The data reveals clear winners in terms of deployment models, technologies, and industries. Cloud dominates deployment. Cloud-based AI testing solutions hold 62% of the market in 2026, according to Fortune Business Insights. The pay-as-you-go model, the scalability and the ability to run tests across global infrastructure without maintaining physical hardware make cloud the default choice. On-premise still has a role, particularly in industries with strict data sovereignty requirements, but the trajectory is clear. Web-based applications lead by application. Type web-based testing captures 70% of the AI-enabled testing market. This makes sense given the sheer volume of web applications being built and maintained across every industry. Mobile-based AI testing is growing, but web remains dominant due to the breadth of use cases spanning API testing, regression testing, and automated UI validation. IT and telecom is the biggest buyer. IT and telecom companies represent 36% of the AI testing market. They're dealing with massive infrastructure, constant updates, and complex network configurations that benefit enormously from AI-driven defect detection. Healthcare is projected to be the fastest growing segment going forward, driven by regulatory requirements and the critical nature of medical software. North America holds the largest share of the AI testing market at 41.2% of revenue in 2025. This is driven by the concentration of major technology providers, early adoption of AI tools, and aggressive DevOps practices across U.S. enterprises. About 65% of U.S. enterprises already rely on automated tools for regression and performance testing, but the fastest growth is happening in Asia Pacific, which is projected to grow at over 20% CAGR during the forecast period. India, China, and Japan are leading that charge, fueled by massive digital transformation programs, strong developer talent pools, and national-level technology investment strategies. Europe is the second largest market, with growth driven by government digital transformation initiatives and increasingly by the compliance requirements of the EU AI Act, forcing companies to invest in more rigorous testing infrastructure. Here's where we need to be honest, because the market projections tell one story and the reality on the ground tells another. The money is real, the growth is real, but adoption is messier than the headlines suggest. Research shows a significant perception gap between leadership and practitioners. 39% of research and engineering leaders say AI has revolutionized their processes. Only 19% of frontline engineers agree. That's a 20-point disconnect. And it matters because investment decisions are being made at the leadership level, while implementation challenges are being felt at the team level. Only 31% of developers are using AI agents to any degree. 38% have no plans to adopt them at all. Deloitte's Tech Trends 2026 report found that only 11% of companies have AI agents fully operational in production, despite 25% running pilots. The gap between experimenting and deployed is wide, and it's not closing as fast as the vendor marketing would have you believe. The AI testing market isn't dominated by a single player. It's a crowded and rapidly evolving space with a mix of established testing companies adding AI capabilities and pure-play AI testing startups disrupting from the ground up. Key players include Tricentis SmartBear, which recently launched BearQ, a fully autonomous testing solution. Applitools, known for AI-powered visual testing, Catalan, Testim, Functionize, Sauce Labs, Parasoft, and Micro Focus. On the enterprise side, companies like Microsoft are embedding AI testing capabilities directly into Azure DevOps, while newer entrants like Mabel, XLQ, and Lambda Test are pushing the boundaries of what autonomous testing can do. The machine learning and pattern recognition segment holds 50% of the AI testing technology market, which tells you that the core value proposition isn't flashy, generative AI demos. It's pattern recognition, defect prediction, and intelligent test optimization. The companies that are winning are the ones solving real maintenance and coverage problems, not just generating test scripts. Here are 4 key takeaways. 1. The market validation is real. When multiple independent research firms all project 18% plus CAGR for an industry, that's not hype. That's capital allocation. Companies are investing in AI testing because the ROI is measurable and the alternative manual testing at AI-driven development speed is unsustainable. If you're in QA, you're in a growth market. Act accordingly. 2. The skills gap is your opportunity. 70% of enterprises cite lack of skills as the primary barrier to AI testing adoption. That means there's massive demand for QA professionals who understand both testing fundamentals and AI tooling. The career path from manual testing to automation to AI-enabled QA isn't just a progression. Right now, it's a competitive advantage with a documented skills shortage backing it up. 3. Be skeptical of the hype, but don't ignore the trend. Only 11% of companies have AI agents fully operational in production. The adoption gap between leadership perception and practitioner reality is real, but the direction is undeniable. 86% of respondents in NVIDIA's State of AI survey said their AI budgets will increase in 2026. The money is moving. Position yourself where the money is going, not where it was. 4. Cloud plus matching. Learning pattern recognition is where the value is. 62% cloud deployment, 50% machine learning and pattern recognition technology share. The market is telling you exactly where the value concentrates. If you're evaluating AI testing tools, prioritize the ones that excel at intelligent test selection, defect prediction, and self-healing over the ones that are just good at generating boilerplate test scripts. The AI testing market isn't waiting for anyone to catch up. The question is whether you're positioned to ride the wave or watching it from a distance.